Alright, as you can see, things are a little bit different today. I kind of have a newer setup going on here, and yeah, I like it so far. I got a new mic stand, pop filters, so hopefully the recording is a lot cleaner here. And also I'm going to do a different style within these videos. I don't necessarily want to like go over the entire chapter, you know, like I don't want to just have a long-winded summary and then you guys are like kind of bored here. I mean, most of you guys coming into these videos have obviously read the chapters, so you know, what is me repeating what you know really gonna change anything? You guys are really here just to hear my thoughts and opinions and maybe some theories and speculation about what's to come. So yeah, what did I think about this chapter overall? And a few things that do strike out to me. One, I mean, it's always top tier quality. You're never gonna, you know, get a bad chapter from Araki. Very solid stuff. That's not too surprising, but there are a few things to mention. This chapter was very insane. Probably one of the most unique Jojolion chapters of all. I really can't think of a chapter that's even more crazier than this one. And not really for a reason of being crazy climactic, really towards the plot. It's alright, well, you know, we'll just get into that. So, a lot of people have been going crazy. They're like, oh my god, Dio is in part 8. He's not really in part 8. It's, a few characters were cameoed, sort of like little Easter eggs. You know, you got Hermes, you got Anya, you got presumably Dio. I mean, he has the stone mask. At first, I didn't see Dio, but I guess it does make sense. I mean, I'll take people's word for it. Why not, right? But you have all these the original universe characters within the alternate universe. And one interesting thing about this factor is that now that Dio has perhaps made this cameo appearance within Part 8, it means that he's been either mentioned or appeared within every single JoJo part. Part 1, Phantom Blood, I mean, that's kind of obvious. Part 2... I mean, I believe he was mentioned by Strazzo, God, someone's gonna hate me for mispronouncing his name. And then in part 3, I mean, obviously, part 4, we get Akiyasu's father's backstory, and then part 5, Giorno's wallet has a picture of Dio in it. Part 6, we get the flashbacks with Pucci. Part 7, well, I guess we can count Diego, you know, because they do refer to him as Dio at times. And in part 8, now we have this. So again, very interesting. We get some other cameos as well, even within the alternate universe. We get some pictures within Steel Ball Run. I always love that. I'm a sucker for Steel Ball Run. Terrific part. Nothing too crazy here, though the chapter does hint that perhaps the walleyes and the Devil's Palm from Steel Ball Run are somehow connected between each other and between rock humans. And speaking of the rock humans, this is another reason why this chapter is getting a lot of I guess notorieties. Yeah, notoriety's good. It's just really weird because Araki goes into like the details of how a rock human baby lives. Basically, I'm gonna keep this really short. I said I didn't want to like start summarizing, but basically, rock baby human gets planted. By the way, they're like a millimeter, a few millimeters. Like, they're basically the size of an insect, which is like mad lad insane. At first, when I was reading, I really didn't understand the scale at hand, so I thought this was like a grown size baby grabbing onto a large bee. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Freaking babies grabbing onto bees, flying into hives, and then taking over the hive because they're killing the queen, or like basically baby rock humans are parasites to beehives, and it's just the weirdest thing ever. A lot of cool imagery though came out of this. Araki took the liberty to really get a macro view, really inside look, and how detailed he can draw like insects. It's totally insane. And we get, aside from that, we get a little bit more information on rock humans, why they even exist in the first place. You know, they're sort of like a fallback for the carbon-based normal humans, I suppose. I find that kind of interesting as well. I don't know, Araki kind of goes into the ideas the creator made it as, so he gets a little like philosophical. It's really interesting stuff. And of course, as this is going on, it's really awesome artwork, very terrific stuff by Araki, and it's very strange in general. Like this gives the name justice. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. God, very bizarre indeed. But we get a few other confirmations. Toro is now confirmed to be a rock human. I have mixed thoughts about that, and to be fair, I'm going to talk about that soon. But actually, no, I'll talk about that now. Toru obviously is established to be somewhat of a major player in this as a villain. And the fact that now he's a rock human, and the chapter hints at all the things bad happening, including something else that I'll get into, are because of him. And one of those things is that we get some really cool flashbacks of Mamazuku, really cool stuff. He's at his father's funeral, and we're like, okay, why the hell did his father die? Yeah, I mean, the head doctor made an appearance at the funeral, and it's hinted, actually, no, it's confirmed in this chapter that Toru, who has the head doctor stand, which now has a name, the Wonder of You, interesting Elvis reference, but so Toru affected Mamazuku's past to kill his father with his stand, which, I mean, I don't know what motive, what, a pear orchard? Man, high stakes right here, but God, so they're building Toru up as, like, this mad lad villain, and I'm like, okay, like, really? I mean, I really didn't. Like, Toru's okay, but all he is Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like, come on, he has good taste in women, I'll give him that. Yasuo, good taste, but, like, I don't think he's villain material in my opinion, like, but it seems, though, and it points in the right direction, that it seems feasible that he could perhaps be a mainstay villain within Jojolion, and if that's the case, I'd be heavily disappointed. I'd rather have someone like Hado take the reins as a major villain, because, I don't know, there's more build up to it. Toru was just introduced literally towards the end of Jojolion, though, I mean, it could go on for a long time, but very recently he was introduced, you know, and all we really got initially was that he was Yasuo's boyfriend at some point, and I'm like, wow. So we get Dio, the Pillarman, Yoshikage Kira, or just Kira for short if you want to be that way, Diavolo, the mob boss, Pucci, a top-tier underling of Dio, President Valentine, yeah, President of the United States, and then we got Toru, Yasuo's previous boyfriend. Wow, isn't that hype? But I don't know, it just kind of rubs me off the wrong way. Like, I mean, maybe the story will impress me as it continues on. Like, maybe they can give him some more character development, but honestly, I don't want to believe that this guy's a major player in all this. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, come on, can we get, like, a little serious? It's like, come on, Rocky, quit pulling our legs, like, you know what I mean? But, like, in the beginning, they're like, this is all because of him. Like, dude, he can't be the fucking puppet master behind all this mad lad stuff going on with Mamazuku's father's death, with the Rokakaka. No way he could be, like, it's just so random. Like, that's like if Sagechi was the villain in part 4. It makes no sense. Like, why? Sagechi, I know he's a bit of a dick, but, like, really? Sagechi the villain? Nah, that please don't. Like, God, like, yeah, Toru is the Sagechi of part 8. Like, I'm sorry, like, he is. Why? Like, you could have a cool villain like Hado, you know, that Yoshikage Kira vibe. I don't know anybody but fucking Toru. Like, he's a Sagechi, he's a troll. Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about that. I want to get into another problem about this chapter, and like I said, I'm going through the problems, but I enjoy this stuff. It's awesome stuff, and the lore and the Easter eggs, the cameos are really great stuff. And I like Mamazuku's backstory. I like that we got to see Narusuke and him bond, maybe for the first time, but at least for him bonding at an early age to build up that relationship. Really cool stuff, and Narusuke looking sly as fuck. Very nice there, and you can see Jobin back there too, a lot younger. Nice little attention to detail there, always wonderful. But another problem I had with this, Josuke gets, like, attacked by, like, this, the insect, the rock insects, and it's like, oh, this poison's on my face, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you could use soft and wet. to get rid of the poison. And I'm like, dude, please, just do it now. Like, if this was, like, dude, he could do it. He could definitely do this, because at first I was like, okay, maybe he's not doing this because maybe his stand can't affect himself. That's kind of common, I feel like, for a lot of stands. Like, for instance, in Part 4, Josuke, he couldn't use Crazy Diamond on himself to heal him, right? You know, that was kind of the caveat. But it's been on record that Josuke 8 can, you know, affect himself with his stand. He actually gave himself a nice shave with his soap bubbles, so he can affect himself. That is fact. So I don't know why he doesn't use Plunder, and like I said, I would love to see Plunder. Maybe not in the way I wanted it to, but still, I don't know. And it's just strange too, because, like, God, the insects too, the rock insects, I just don't like them. I watched X-Fort's video too. I like to watch other people's videos and get a little bit of a second opinion to compare and contrast my original first impressions and make an ultimate opinion at the end of the day. And I agree with a lot of things that X-Fort's had to say. He mentioned that he didn't really like the rock insects, and yeah, I agree. It's pretty, like, filler-ish? Not filler, like, it's not like Naruto filler BS, but, like, it's kind of, like, God, can we get to the good stuff? Like, can we please get to a Joshu versus Toru fight, or Josuke beating the shit out of Toru? Like, a 7-page or anything but this. It's like just some weird bug in a popsicle stick. And I mean, it kind of makes sense within the context of the story, because I think there was, like, this rock insect that, like, attacked Yasuo or something. I'm not too sure, I forget, but it was, like, when she was a child. So I guess it kind of makes sense within the context of the story, but I don't know, man. I'm just not as impressed. But I do know within storytelling that patience is good, and if you're patient enough, a lot of cool things can happen. But I don't know, like, and even then, within, you know, I guess the stand is the Wonder View, but I feel like I'm just gonna keep calling it the Head Doctor stand. But within that context, I don't feel like even the ability makes sense. Like, why a rock insect? Like, you know, like, okay, the Wonder View, the Head Doctor stand already has its ability, right? You know, the calamity, quote unquote, right? But what's with this extra ability with bugs? Like, does he just keep bugs around, or it's just kind of like, yeah, it's just a little too much, you know? Like let's just get on with the story, you know? I mean, hopefully they don't spend too much time on this, but still, and I feel like I'm rambling on, you know, like I said, these are pretty ridiculous nitpicks, but I don't know, Toru especially kind of, like, low-key triggered me. I don't know why. Maybe I just expected something, like, more grandiose as, like, maybe the quote-unquote villain. Again, what I say could definitely be wrong, and to be fair, I hope I'm wrong in saying that Toru may possibly be the main villain, but still. And yeah, I didn't like the rock insects. But I did like how badly hold up, I just had this moment right here, because I've been doing a lot of these recordings, like, you know, I made multiple of these, right? So I took multiple takes, and bro, I just realized something now, and that's my TV turning off. I realized something now. Mamazuku has, like, the Johnny Joestar eyes, right? And he's like, yeah, like, low-key, he wants to kill freaking, well, the Head Doctor, he doesn't know it's Toru, but low-key, he wants some mad lad revenge, you know, because he just finds out, oh my god, he killed my father, that kind of thing, or at least he's responsible for that. But hold up, why is Mamazuku getting these Vietnam flashbacks now, out of all the times? Because he's seen the Head Doctor. He's like, wow, gee whiz, why is he, like, is he 89? Like, you know, that was, like, the run-on joke. So he's seen him before. Maybe not on the face before. Maybe that's what triggered it, like, seeing his face. But even then, if I'm not, like, mistake me if I'm wrong, but if you look back in the chapter in the flashback, you don't, like, when he's like, oh, who's that random guy, you know? Oh, I don't know, Norusuke says, you know, that part, neither of them see his face. It's only the back of his head and, like, his hat. So, like, why now trigger the flashback, you know? It's not like, well, I mean, obviously the Toru's standard, the Wonder View, does gloat about, like, oh, I can take a pear orchard and I can take the Rokakaka fruits, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, he does gloat, I guess, to trigger that, but I don't know, man. Like, it's like, yeah, man, now he's getting the Vietnam flashbacks. That's kind of a little bit weird. I mean, I guess it's, you know, plot convenient. Like I said, these are really nitpicky. I don't know why I'm being so nitpicky today. Like, it was a good chapter. Like, it was a fucking awesome chapter, dude. We got to see Dio. We got to see, like, all these other Hermes. I didn't even expect that, but... And then I love the backstory between the rock humans. I don't know what is up with me. I guess I like 2/3 of the chapter a lot, and then the last third I really didn't like as much. And like I said, the 2/3 totally outweigh the last third, so, you know, I feel like I've been going on for a little bit of time. I think I got everything I really wanted to say on hand, but yeah, if there's anything I forgot, anything you want to add to the conversation, because like I said, these are very loose videos, and I'm trying a new setup too as well, like I mentioned earlier, so if there's anything, you know, you want to throw in, feel free to. I always love to hear what people have to say, and it kind of gives me a new perspective on each of these chapters, or really any of the video topics I do. I always kind of learn something new from the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Goodbye. See you next time.